You're watching MMA Oddsbreaker. This edition is from Stockholm, Sweden. Obviously, Gegard Mousasi, who you've been the talk of the town for the last week, but not the way that you wanted.
No, it's no one is informing me also about the fight, so I'm listening a little bit from my manager and from to media what's going on. So it was also a little bit difficult for me.
How hard is that really when you're sitting there and you're reading something on the internet, your manager telling you something that they're getting from the internet too, the promoter is not really giving you any information other than, as far as you know, you're showing up 3-4 days before the fight, you're still fighting the same guy, then all of a sudden later that night it's like, no, there's a switch.
Well, my manager was talking, Vitor Belfort said he was willing to step up and take the fight. So we knew there was talk with Joe Silva, we knew there was some doubt that Gustafsson wouldn't be able to fight. So we knew the chance was that he wouldn't be able to fight. And then you had Dana White that was saying the fight is continuing, and you had someone from the commission, I believe, that was saying, well, 99% that he's not gonna clear to fight. And then you had Vitor Belfort saying, I'm gonna fight him for 3 days, as an April Fool joke. So you know the fight is possible, that it's not going to happen, so you know there's maybe a replacement. On the other hand, you know maybe he's still going to fight, so you basically don't know what's going to happen.
Now, every time I interview you, I always ask the three basic questions. Who did you bring in specifically for your opponent to train with? How much, in the tape, break down your opponent, and tell us how you think the fight's going to go. But this one, you can't do any of those. You got thrown, at the time of this taping, he got thrown less than 48 hours ago, a different opponent. And now you're already here. And it's completely different.
Yeah.
Stand-up striker to wrestler brawler.
Yeah, short guy, tall guy, very different. So I train more for a striker, and I wanted to take Gustafsson down myself. So I train more for taking him down. But okay, maybe I shouldn't have said it, because maybe we're gonna fight each other another time. But anyway,
it's apparent. Like when you come in, we pretty much knew if I had to break down this fight, I knew what you're gonna try to learn.
Yeah.
He knows what you're trying to learn, but can he stop it? And as of late, no one's been able to stop anything that you've been thrown at him.
Yeah.
Same thing kind of in this fight. Yeah, you're not gonna be able to take him down, but I think with you emphasize a lot of wrestling. He's not gonna be able to take you down as easily either.
No, because I believe. The way I'm gonna fight him, I'm not gonna be I'm gonna fight very differently. But I think I'm going in with the mentality he's gonna try to take me down also constantly. So I'm gonna be very aware of it. So it's much easier to defend something you expect than when you don't expect it. So I think I will be just fine.
Have you seen any tape on him at all? Any YouTube videos? Anything?
I saw one of his fights, but my head coach is coming tomorrow, and we're gonna watch with him and make a better game plan.
Now, I commentated a couple of his fights, and as I have with yours, and I saw that, especially with the fight with Emmanuel Newton, Sharks fight 17, he falls apart come second round. He starts to gas out, and he really doesn't have that much energy. He's a last-minute replacement. Obviously, you're in shape. You're ready to fight. Your cardio system has to be. You're peaked for to make weight tomorrow and fight on Saturday. He was going to be drinking beer.
Yeah.
How hard are you going to change? Because usually a slow starter, what we look at as a slow starter, it's just how you are. You're not really a slow starter. You're looking for the angle to hit him one time and put him out. Are you going to pick up the pace a little bit more on this fight to push his cardio early because you're in so much better shape?
For sure. When I look at my fights, I always look for every punch I try to hit him as hard as possible and knock him out. I've been working on my boxing, and I'm going to be more technical about it. But for sure, I'm going to go forward and put the pressure, because I always go forward. At least that's the way I fight. I like to be the one that's going forwards, and I think, of course, he's a short guy, but he's very muscular for his height. So, of course, I think he's gonna run out of stamina a little bit earlier. So, of course, with the pressure and he not being a good stand-up fighter, he's gonna get even faster tired, I believe. So that's at least what we're gonna do. We're gonna make him tired.
Now, at times like this, when you have these big opponent changes and you have these problems, how important is it to have a great management team like you do?
Well, very important. We had contact with Joe Silva, but for some reason, maybe UFC they had their own reasons. I don't know why, but they were thinking Gustafsson will be able to fight, and it helps out a lot. I remember when I wanted to fight in the last show of Strikeforce, I wasn't getting into the fight. They didn't give me a fight, but luckily I signed with my new management, and Nima took care of it, and I got the fight. So it makes a huge difference if you have a good team behind you.
It's tough, especially in this sport, especially someone like you. I asked you before, how far away do you think you are from being in the title hunt? You're like, oh, I don't know. You never know. It's a couple, 3. Maybe it could be 10, could be 2. But everyone knows at home that watches. They know you're basically 2 good victories away from being in the title hunt, and then 1 injury, you're in. So literally in 2 fights, you're in the title shot because someone got hurt and you're in that space. Having a good management team means a lot because now it's a question of who should you fight next, who should you fight after.
Well, Gustafsson was a fight we asked for, and he would get if he would have won from me, he would have gotten a title shot. Mm-hmm. And so would have I won from him, it may be another fight, and then I would have been a contender. So it goes very fast in this sport, and one day you're a top contender, one day you're just only fighting, and
one day you're just doing interviews. And it's really that fast.
Yeah,
it happens overnight.
Yeah, and so it was a big opportunity, this fight, and also the Strikeforce fight was important. So I took the fights and trying to capitalize on the opportunity.
Okay, well, there you have it. I don't want to keep him too long. He has to make weight tomorrow, and I hate, as a fighter, I hated people talking to me past 4 o'clock on the 2 days before the fight because I got to make weight. So I'll let you go. I appreciate you coming in.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us.
Good luck. Thank you very much.